Hi, I'm Andy Bargery from Agency Squared, and I'm here today with my pal John Torrance to talk a bit about our course, Pitch Perfect. Hello, John.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Now, John, tell our listeners what you do for a living.
I'm a communication coach, so I help people to speak with confidence for all kinds of different situations.
So you're just the man for our Pitch Perfect training day.
Very handy.
So what are we talking about today, John? I think we were going to talk about how to inject a bit of personality into a talk, into a pitch. So how can people do that? What does that look like, and how do you get away with it if you're a bit nervous?
Well, I think the first thing is the problem of being professional in inverted commas, where people think, right, I need to impress, I need to be professional, and somewhere in that process, they decide to leave behind everything that made them interesting. And so they aspire to deliver something perfect and they deliver something without personality. And of course, the people you're pitching to want to know what you're about, what makes you tick, and you want to be memorable as well.
I think that's easy to do, to almost over professionalize it, clean it up too much. Whereas what people are really looking for is a human connection.
Yeah, and you could do that in all kinds of different ways. But I think the first thing that has to happen is you have to be comfortable with yourself and comfortable with sharing something that might seem like it wasn't maybe not appropriate but relevant. So I might throw in that I love the Dark Knight trilogy or comics or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and for some people in the audience, throwing out those hooks, it might not land at all, and they might think, well, I'm not interested in it, in which case it doesn't matter. But if you are interested in those things, or I might throw out that I'm a cyclist or a parent, or just lots of little points of reference, those are the things where there might be a little bit of a conversation that happens after that. Or it might put you in a different light where people think, oh, okay, so you've got that experience, and it just rounds you as a person.
So it kind of links back into building rapport that we talked about as well. Is, I think giving people some insight into who you are as a person helps with that, doesn't it? It takes you out of that dry, overly professional, just here to do a job position.
Yeah, exactly. And essentially you're being interviewed in a way. And the big part of the interview is, are we going to enjoy working with you for 6 months, a year, 18 months, 2 years, whatever? Are you going to be someone that we're going to enjoy spending time with? Because if you're not, this isn't going to happen. It doesn't matter how good the idea is. It doesn't matter what your experience is. If you're annoying, if you're not fun to be with, then it's not going to happen.
Forget about it. Yeah, I mean, I see that all the time. As I've said to you, John, I help agencies often to find opportunities to pitch to clients. And where I sit in on the pitches, it's often that kind of chemistry, that do I like the person that's trying to sell me their service I'm going to engage with for the next 3-6 months? Do I like that person? And being able to have that rapport, building that around a bit of personality makes such a big difference.
Yeah, and also you might want to be the most memorable person in that whole series of people who are pitching ideas. So it could be wearing that particularly brightly colored piece of clothing. It should still be you and something you like wearing and something authentic, but it's showing a little bit of originality. I remember someone telling me about wearing bright red clothes to interviews and how that they think that really helped because they would stand out and people would remember them for that.
Yeah, that's interesting. And a little tale on that as well. Obviously, we're all in lockdown. That's why we're sat on the end of a computer screen rather than being together, John. But a lot of the pitching I've been doing recently, there's a lady who turns up and she sits next to this fabulous wallpaper that's just covered in giraffes and tigers and, all sorts of creatures. And I guarantee that every single person will reference that wallpaper, and it really helps to break the ice, to start that conversation around and to start that rapport building process.
And it shows a certain level of commitment as well. So I suspect she didn't get that wallpaper for that purpose.
No.
It was just for her. Whoever else is living in the house, that's great. Maybe a conversation starter if someone comes around, but now it's a great conversation starter.
Every call with that person is now framed by that wonderful wallpaper. So she's using it to full effect. So more kudos to her. John, this is just one of the many aspects we're going to be covering in the Pitch Perfect training course. where should people go to find out more and to book their place?
They should go to agencysquared.co.uk, find the training tab, and then go down to Pitch Perfect.
Absolutely perfect, John. Thank you very much.
Cheers, a pleasure.